I think India has a good reason to be more than satisfied. But India has still a better reason to still be impatient. We've achieved a lot. We are, for the first time across the 5 years, amongst the large economies, the fastest growing. We have moved up the ladder as far as ease of doing business is concerned. The economy is gradually formalizing more and more. Almost in a period of 5 years, our taxation collections will be close to almost doubling. Our assessee bases are increasing. The size of India's middle class is growing exponentially. And that's one factor which is not going to only influence domestic demand, but also global demand. That's also going to dictate a lot of global investment. And there is a particular direction that India has taken. When I said India has a lot more reason to be impatient about, with this growing middle class, with a lot of aspirational people wanting to join that middle class, that's all contributing to the impatience. And that is what compels policymakers to move in a particular direction. I don't think India is the place where we can judge India by what's happened in the last 3-4 months or what's going to happen in the next 3-4 months, because announcements made by several people during this period appear to be policy aberrations. But once the heat and dust of politics settle down and elections go into the background, I think one of the great lessons we've learned is that India was waiting to become a more honest society. Governments had discretions, politicians and civil servants had unlimited power. There were no guidelines. The only remedy was some kind of review, either administrative or audit or judicial. From a taxation point of view, we were non-compliant. We always complained that a very large part of our economy was the parallel economy. And I think the last 5 years significantly become a turning point where the so-called violators or offenders or deviators have realized that it's no longer safe to be on that course. Systems are becoming more transparent, government discretions are getting eliminated. And it's possible in India, as a developing society which had reconciled to that kind of culture, it's possible to run India and govern India in a more transparent and honest manner. That there was opposition on fake issues, but 5 years passed off without a single significant agitation. There was no social unrest. But then, of course, fake issues don't have a very lasting life. Their longevity is very small. It's very narrow. And we saw a number of fake issues coming up. The EVM is a fake issue. The Rafale was a fake issue. The loan waiver to 15 business houses was a fake issue. Aadhar, which was a primary instrument for making sure that the targeted get the resources, the privacy question was a fake issue. So I think what India saw in abundance was fake issues emerging with a very short longevity. And they had to gradually disappear. I must mention that the last thing that India needs at that stage is political instability. The last thing that India needs at this stage is lack of policy direction. And certainly we don't need a chaotic sort of combination. And more important, India needs a 5-year government, not a 6-month government. And I think a lot has changed. And I've repeatedly said this, that since I can see India becoming a more aspirational society, I'm quite certain that aspirational societies don't suffer from a lemmings complex and collectively commit a suicide. They resist from doing that. They're always more optimistic and hopeful for the future. And therefore, India should, in terms of policy and growth, be destined for a better tomorrow. Thank you.